NXT Recap here on Pro Talk Wrestling. Hello everybody, my name is Nate the Great, your host here. And guys, doing another little bit of a podcast here. Going to be talking about NXT. What a night it was last night. Honestly, it had a lot of anticipation, a lot of definite things to talk about. So let's just jump right into it, not even go into it. If I run out of things to talk about, I'm trying to make this at least a 30-minute episode. If I run out of things to talk about, I'll just riff, and we'll see what happens from there. So let's get right into it. We kicked off NXT with the Vaudevillians taking on a different kind of a tag team. It was a Hugo and some other random guy. I can't remember most of their names. I could tell you who Elias Sampson faced last night, but we're going to talk about that a little later. Maybe. But the Vaudevillains picked up the victory, looking very aggressive, very immense, and very good. They are very underrated. I'm just going to say this right now. The Vaudevillains are a tag team that really did not get a chance to shine as the tag team champions. They were the champions for about roughly a month, I believe it was, and they were kind of put into the face position just because I think they ran out of people for Blake and Murphy to face. So when it came to Brooklyn, they thought, okay, we're going to give you the tag team title shot. Great. But then during the Dusty Rhodes Classic, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, well now known as Revival, came to be, and they beat the Vaudevillains in their, I think it was either a semifinal or quarterfinal matchup. Went in and beat the Vaudevillains down like they were nothing. Honestly, I think the Vaudevillains deserve a lot more credit than they are getting right now. Simon Gotch, Aiden English are just two very talented individuals. Definitely deserve to be, at the top of the list of best teams that NXT has had. Lucha Dragons, the Ascension. Definitely, I think Corey Graves and Neville were definitely two great individuals that, were singles competitors, and they came to be a pretty good team. So they actually get a little more involved in the show, but I'll bring that up a little bit later. We go on to the segment where they show a recap of the Revival, Scott and Dash beating down Enzo Amore last week. And then Cass made the save. Cass went out and he was saying how, message was received and that we're going to see you guys very soon. And then we got to see Revival respond by them saying, you decide to jump us. And I'm thinking, that's kind of the pot calling the kettle black there, buddy. Because considering the fact that you guys jumped Enzo first, and then Cass came out of there to save his friend, I think that, yeah. So they responded, and it is made official now for next week's Roadblock event. It is going to be Enzo Amore and Big Cass taking on the Revival for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And honestly, I'm surprised that they actually are going down this route. I didn't think that they were actually going to do that for... I mean, this was mostly a WWE pay-per-view event or network exclusive, whatever. And I thought that it was going to have more like, the WWE Tag Team titles, the Intercontinental title, US title, maybe something like that. But now they're putting an NXT Tag Team title match in there. I am looking forward to this. Regardless of how the main event between Triple H and Dean, which I'll talk about something about that in a bit, the match I know is going to really tear the house down, and people are going to explode when they see Enzo and Cass. WWE, why did it take you a month to put these guys on a WWE network deal? I understand, TakeOver is a network deal, but this is actual WWE main roster deal here. Come on. Why couldn't you have done this for Fastlane? At least then it wouldn't have sucked as bad as it did. It is what it is, though. So from there, we see Emma taking on Santana Garrett in a basic singles matchup. Garrett looked really good in this matchup. She really showed a lot of her offense, a lot of her skills, a lot of her techniques. Emma finishing off Garrett with the Emma lock, and she had no choice but to tap out. And I actually sent a tweet that said Garrett. Basically, it basically said, Garrett, it's Emma's birthday. You know you were going to lose. Sorry, LOL. And actually, Garrett liked it, apparently. So I found that to be actually pretty funny, but it is what it is. It's one of those things that I thought, so she likes the fact that I basically said that she lost because it was Emma's birthday. Okay, I guess that's one way of doing it. We go into the matchup between Elias Sampson and Steve Cutler, who is a former member of the U.S. Army. The weird thing about Cutler is that he had his own theme music. He had his own Titantron. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this guy actually looks like he's going to be a star. He looks like he's going to definitely be put out there as a main, maybe not quite the main level guy, but he's definitely going to be one of those guys who might fill in the place of a Bolt MC or some of the other guys that got released. But unfortunately, Elias Sampson ended the matchup with air guitar and his signature neck breaker for the 1-2-3. I just cannot get into Elias Sampson. He's one of those guys who, when he first came on with the vignettes and, announcing his coming, everything like that, I thought, okay, this might actually be interesting. This guy might be very talented. He's got some pretty decent mic skills. He looks like he could be great. But his moveset and the way he moves in the ring, it just does not mesh well. It just doesn't really do anything for me where it's just like, I'm invested in this guy. He's just not quite there yet. He'll get there, but he's just not found the right move set or the right groove for him. Talking about a couple of backstage segments before I get into the main event. First one involved a confrontation between William Regal as well as Eva Marie and Nia Jax. Eva basically said, we defeated, Bayley and Carmella last week, and that we are overlooked and we deserve the things that are coming there. And I have to pause here because I'm thinking, wait, whoa. You have something coming for you? I've said this on many occasions, and I'm going to try to make this not into a long rant because I'm saving that for the final show, but this is the way that I see it. Eva Marie, you have not had a single thing earned. You've been given opportunity out of your... You've just been given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity because somehow you're going to be the next face of what the Divas division is going to be. Honestly, I prefer having Nikki Bella come back and go with a 365-day title reign than to have Eva Marie ever step foot on the main roster or be a champion. That's how much I am not a fan of Eva Marie. She can't wrestle. She can't work the mic. She can't do ring announcing. She can't do anything, really. She can't even thrust her arms to say, yes. She looks so weird and robotic and plastic-like. It's like a mannequin deal. Anyway, getting off topic, she then was talking about how they're looking forward to getting more opportunity, and Regal says, well, you guys are going to have another opportunity soon because you two will be teaming up against Bayley and Asuka. And the first thing that went through my mind was, oh my gosh, Asuka, if you kick off Eva Marie's head, I will forever be... You'll basically be my goddess, is what I'm saying. But I also want to see the stare down between Asuka and Nia. I think this is a matchup that is definitely bound to happen sooner or later, and it is going to be a matchup that so many people are going to just explode for. It is the immovable object, basically, against the woman who basically can smile, and your head is just going to roll off your head because she's already kicked it off. She's that quick. I am looking forward to seeing how this matchup goes. I believe that they are actually going to probably have that next week. I could be wrong because they also have a main event 2 out of 3 falls match between Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn for the number 1 contendership for the NXT title. and I do know how that's going to go down, but I'm still looking forward to that matchup regardless. William Regal actually left the office saying that I have a new signee, and honestly, what the first thing that came to my mind was this is probably going to be the debut of Shinsuke Nakamura. And I'm thinking to myself, this is it. He's coming. He's going to be coming out here. And then Regal came out. He says, hey, we're going to talk about the new signee for NXT. Heard the music, and I'm thinking, okay, this sounds oddly familiar. Why is it? And then Titantron appears, a.a. the greatest man who ever lived, Austin Aries, comes out, and oh my God. I thought to myself, how could I have forgotten about Austin Aries? He made his debut, and he is in NXT. Oh, I honestly, my mind almost exploded because I thought to myself, how could I have forgotten about him? But it was still just great to see him on NXT TV. Baron Corbin, however, interrupted this whole celebration by attacking him from behind and hitting the End of Days on the floor. And he actually grabbed Austin Aries' shirt, and he said, I'm trying to remember what he said. I think he said, an eye for an eye. He threw the t-shirt at William Regal, and he walked away. And guys, I know that they're probably going to announce it very soon. You know it's going to happen, so why waste any time? At NXT TakeOver Dallas, it is going to be Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. I am looking forward to seeing how this match goes because I've seen Austin Aries battle guys who are maybe 2-3 times his size, and he does a phenomenal job. He's going to be one of those guys who's going to be very hard to top. He's going to be one of those guys who's going to be very hard to hang with. I can tell you that right now. I'm looking forward to seeing Austin Aries in action in Dallas. We then go into a backstage segment in which we see the Hype Bros, I should say. I almost said bromance. I'm thinking, wait a minute. No, that's something else. We have the Hype Bros talking about the Vaudevillians and say, hey, we lost these guys, but you know something? We're going to find a way to beat them. And I think I might know a way. They leave. And then almost out of the shadows, the Vaudevillians just come out, and they just have this like toothy grin of just like, yeah, they think that they got us, but we have a trick of our own. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh. Again, most underrated, but they do such an awesome job being faces, being heels. I am looking forward to seeing the Hype Bros and the Vaudevillains going at each other again. It's going to be amazing, bottom line. So, we go into the main event, which is basically a celebration of the NXT Championship. It was Adrian Neville, the longest reigning NXT champion, against the current reigning and defending NXT champion, Finn Balor. Now, this matchup, I already declared, was a match of the year candidate. It was amazing. We saw Finn Balor going absolutely crazy. We saw Adrian Neville doing fast-paced deal. This is the kind of matches that they need to have on Monday Night Raw. I know a lot of people are probably not into this, but you look at how these guys just tell a story in the ring and how much they show that NXT title means to them. It really is one of those matches that you look at and think, wow, this really just proves that NXT is the future.